is a call from the ancestors to sail to new skies and reconnect our people across the entire ocean.
Boat snack upgrade. Bacon and eggs?
The ocean stirs again, whispering ancient rhythms that have been waiting in silence since the first journey ended. Moana has grown, not just in years, but in spirit, carrying the weight of every islander who now looks to her not only as a voyager who restored the heart of creation, but as someone who stands between their people and whatever tides may rise next. Her world has changed. The islands flourish. The winds have calmed, and the myths once heard only in fireside stories are becoming threads woven directly into her everyday path. Yet, peace does not last forever, especially for someone whose destiny keeps pulling her toward waters deeper than she has ever sailed. She feels the ocean calling with a new urgency, as if something vast and ancient churns beneath the surface. And each night, when she stands where the shoreline fades into glimmering blue, she feels the kind of unfamiliar pull that once started her first great journey. Moana's dreams have become strange. She sees islands she has never visited, covered in glowing reefs that pulse like living hearts. She hears voices that sound like echoes of forgotten ancestors, speaking in pieces as though trying to warn her of something that once slumbered but now begins to awaken. At first, she hides these worries, thinking she can protect her people by bearing the burden alone, but the weight grows heavier. Even as the villagers celebrate the harmony restored to their world, Moana feels the currents shifting beneath her feet. Something new is stirring beyond the horizon. Maui, meanwhile, has been living out his days with the same flair he brings to everything, half heroism, half mischief. Though he pretends to be carefree, even he senses a shift in the world. His magical fishhook glows faintly at night, brighter than it should, as if reacting to something unseen. At first, he dismisses it as just another quirk of the universe, but the glow intensifies until it becomes impossible to ignore. Eventually, he realizes the ocean is calling him again, and while he'll never openly admit it, part of him missed the thrill of standing beside Moana, battling forces far larger than either of them. So, when the ocean brings him a sign, a wave that rises higher than any he's ever seen and leaves behind a trail of glowing water, he understands the message clearly. He must return. Their reunion is warm, but overshadowed by Moana's uncertainty. She tries to explain the dreams, the visions, and the feeling that the world is on the brink of something monumental. Maui listens more seriously than she expects, surprising her with a rare moment of sincerity. He reminds her that the ocean doesn't call without reason. Together, they follow the signs, strange tides, stars shifting in unfamiliar patterns, and marine creatures behaving as if fleeing an unseen force. Every clue points toward a new threat, one hidden in a place no voyager has dared to explore. Moana gathers her people and sets out to understand the disturbance creeping across the sea. The journey takes them farther than any of her previous voyages, beyond familiar waters and into a realm where the ocean itself feels different, heavier, ancient, and alive with buried memory. She discovers that the ocean harbors secrets even she never imagined. Beneath the surface lies a forgotten region once sealed by the gods, a place shaped by both creation and destruction. Legends spoke of it only in fragments, believing it to be a myth. But now Moana sees firsthand the shimmering barrier that shields this forgotten world. As she ventures deeper, the barrier reacts to her presence, glowing brighter until it finally opens, revealing the hidden sea within a realm untouched by time. The sight leaves her breathless. Colossal coral spires rise like towers, glowing with luminous patterns that ripple across their surfaces. Strange creatures glide through the water, both beautiful and otherworldly. their colors shifting like the sky at dawn. But awe quickly gives way to dread as the ocean trembles, with a force growing from the darkened depths. Inside this forgotten realm lives an ancient guardian, a being older than the Fidi and the Kai, born from the first tides that shaped the world. This guardian once maintained balance across the seas, but long ago, something caused its power to spiral out of control, forcing the gods to seal the realm away. Now the seal has weakened. The Guardian's awakening threatens to unleash storms capable of shattering islands, and its voice echoes through the water, calling for help, but also radiating fear and fury. Moana realizes it is not simply a monster. It is a being overwhelmed by its own power, confused by centuries of isolation. Moana's compassion becomes her greatest strength as she attempts to communicate with the Guardian. The ocean guides her, showing her glimpses of the past, the world before creation settled, when seas shifted unpredictably and storms shaped the islands. She witnesses how the Guardian once brought life and stability, but also how its powers grew too unstable to control. Now waking after generations, it cannot understand what the world has become. It fears the changes, and that fear manifests as catastrophic waves and violent shifts in the current. As Moana reaches out, Maui prepares to protect her, torn between trust in her instincts and his desire to shield her from harm. But Moana is unwavering. She knows she cannot fight an ancient force born from the same ocean that has guided her all her life. Instead, she must find a way to restore its balance. Maui reluctantly stands back, ready to intervene but allowing her to lead. Moana discovers that the Guardian's instability stems from a missing fragment of its power, something lost when the realm was sealed. Without it, the Guardian cannot distinguish between creation and destruction. The ocean shows Moana where the lost fragment lies, deep within the heart of a shifting underwater labyrinth filled with glowing reefs and currents too powerful for ordinary voyagers. It becomes a test of everything she has learned, requiring not only strength and courage, but intuition and trust in the ocean's guidance. Moana and Maui navigate the labyrinth together, facing currents that twist like living creatures and illusions projected by the Guardian's fragmented essence. At times, the labyrinth seems to reflect Moana's own fears of failing her people, of losing her purpose, of never living up to the legacy she's still discovering. Yet, with every step, she grows more certain that this journey is not about becoming something greater, but understanding the depth of who she already is. When Moana finally reaches the heart of the labyrinth, she finds the missing fragment glowing with the same warm light she once saw in the heart of creation. It pulses rhythmically as if welcoming her. But retrieving it triggers a surge of power that nearly overwhelms her. Maui steps in, using his shape-shifting ability and legendary strength to protect her. Yet, even he struggles against the rising force. Together, they manage to contain the energy long enough for Moana to embrace it, letting the ocean absorb the excess until the fragment stabilizes. Returning to the Guardian becomes the final challenge. The seas erupt in chaos as the awakening accelerates, sending tidal waves crashing across the realm. Moana fights through the surging waters, guided by her connection to the ocean. When she reaches the Guardian, she feels its fear more clearly than ever. Instead of forcing the fragment upon it, she offers it gently, letting the Guardian choose to accept it. In a moment of powerful quiet, the ocean stills. The fragment glows brightly, merging back into the Guardian, and the realm fills with a warm radiance. Balance returns in a breathtaking wave of light. The chaotic storms dissipate. The coral spires shimmer anew. The creatures begin their harmonious dance through the water once more. The Guardian, now whole, regards Moana with deep gratitude and recognizes her not simply as a voyager, but as someone destined to uphold the ocean's legacy. It gifts her a new bond with the sea, deepening her ability to sense changes in the world and granting her insight into the interconnectedness of all living things. Maui, impressed yet pretending not to be, teases her about becoming some kind of ocean legend herself. But Moana laughs it off, knowing that the real treasure is the understanding she gained on this journey, that the world is far bigger and more layered than even voyagers imagined, and balance is something that must be nurtured continuously. As she sails home, the ocean carries her with a familiar warmth, reminding her that this is only one chapter of her unfolding destiny. The world will continue to change, and she will continue to grow with it. Her people welcome her back with awe and celebration, recognizing that she has once again protected their future. And though they cannot see the guardian watching from the glowing horizon beyond the barrier, they feel the peace it radiates across the seas. Moana stands on the shoreline once again, the waves brushing her feet gently. She knows her journey will never truly be finished. The ocean will always whisper, always guide her, always present new mysteries waiting to be discovered. But now more than ever, she walks forward with the calm confidence of someone who understands the depth of her connection to the world. She is a voyager, a leader, a keeper of balance, and someone whose heart beats in rhythm with the ever-changing tides.